Hi, and welcome back to ASPIRE360. This week we sailed to Belfast, Carrickfergus and Oban. This leg of the adventure was one of my favourites, and I definitely plan on going back to Ireland in my future travels. So it was time to leave Carnarvon. Bye! And what a perfect day to get a view of the mountains. Dolphin alert! Dolphin alert! No, 2 hour watch from 6 till 8, and now we sleep from 8 till 12, and then we have a watch from 12 till 4 in the morning. We sorted out a load of stuff on the foredeck, and then the sun was setting, so I filmed that as well. So I'm gonna get my head down, get 4 hours sleep before I have to be awake for 4 hours from 12 till 4 in the morning, and then we should arrive at some point early morning tomorrow in Belfast. It was Easter that day, so it was only appropriate that we had a massive Easter egg hunt.
Easter Bunny has been to the boat whilst you were away. There are now 65 Cadbury's cream eggs on the boat.
Oh my god.
The person that finds the most cream eggs will get an extra reward. One.
Hundreds in the spa.
Go!
Hazel! Oh my god! I've only got 2. Sam, you are victorious.
Thank you.
Right.
I'd like to thank my family and friends and my grandma for always supporting me. Thank you. No more photos.
Everybody is now.
We're doing another job. Can we sit down? I'm just trying to wipe the table.
Everybody dance now. For those of you who don't know the After 8 game, here's how it works. You place an After 8 on your forehead, and you have to get it into your mouth without touching it. You usually start with a forehead wrinkle. Then you must choose one side of your face that the chocolate will travel down, and finally, the most crucial part, the entry. This is where most people fail.
Whoa!
But if you get the angle just right, you've won. We were planning on going to the Titanic Museum that morning. However, it was full, so we ended up going shopping instead. That day, we were also lucky enough to visit the tall ship Phoenix, as it was docked right next to us.
Very, very long way, and you fly the head sails from that.
The tall ship Phoenix is a 2-masted brig period rig all-wood construction. Built in Denmark in 1929, she began her working life as a mission schooner. 20 years later, she retired from missionary work and carried cargo until her engine room was damaged by fire. Purchased by Squaresail in 1987, a first aid overhaul enabled her to sail back to the UK, where she underwent a complete refit. In 1991, she was converted to the 15th century caravel Santa Maria for Ridley Scott's film 1492, Conquest of Paradise, and remained under that guise until 1996 when, due to increasing demand for period square riggers, she was converted into the 2-masted 18th century brig she is today and reverted to her original name, Phoenix of Delkey. The next day, we went to the Titanic Museum now that they had space. This was genuinely one of the best museums I've ever been to. It was so interactive, and I'd highly recommend going if you're ever in Belfast. At about 2:30 that same day, we left on a 2-hour sail to Carrickfergus, a small town near Belfast, and Katie from Belfast joined us for this part of our adventure.
Wait, no, take that again. Take that again.
Although this was one of the shortest legs of our trip, it was one of the most memorable because it was so rainy, and we wouldn't let Starboard Watch hear the end of it. That night, Drew had promised that we could all have a night at Carrickfergus Yacht Club. This turned out to be one of the most memorable nights of the whole trip, and I still can't listen to 500 Miles without thinking about it. The next morning, it was time for a big boat clean.
Good job, well done.
We explored Carrickfergus and went to Carrickfergus Castle. However, it was closed, so we went to McDonald's instead.
We're going for a sneaky Mackie goodies. Don't tell them.
That day, we would go out to the castle now it was open.
That makes sense.
Rock, paper, scissors. Mate.
Why are you hitting that?
Ah, you.
We went to the fair that day. The fair was a point in the trip where I realised I had made the right decision to take on this journey. My crew were beside me, and thinking about my reality if I had chosen not to do this was a scarier thought than the fact that this fair ride probably wasn't safety checked. I had volunteered to cook a roast, which turned out surprisingly well. I definitely plan on going back to Ireland in my future travels. I really loved it there. The next leg of our adventure lay ahead of us, Scotland, and our first destination was Oban. The journey to Oban was beautiful, and the crew felt like nothing less than family. The night we came into Oban was cold, but beautiful. So this is where Chapter 2 ends. Out of all of the chapters of ASPIRE360, this is probably the one I talk about the most, as I truly felt I came out of my shell and wouldn't be the same if I didn't experience it. Chapter 3, we travel through the Caledonian Canal, and I can assure you it's worth a watch just for the view of the mountains we got to experience. Thank you for watching.
Guys, we've got to wind it up in a second.